Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about iOS 18.4. This amazing update with a ton of new features and changes is coming out really soon now. It's less than 2 weeks until we see iOS 18.4 being released to the public with over 50 new features and changes. So in today's video, I will show you guys 10 of those features which I believe are amazing and will make your life much easier using your iPhone on the new iOS 18.4. And first of all, we're talking about a new Apple Intelligence feature. Well, this is a feature that you already have on your device if you do have, of course, Apple Intelligence. But you know that when you're using Apple Intelligence, you will have smart replies on your Messages app as well as on the Mail app. But now with iOS 18.4, devs will actually be able to implement this feature on their apps, meaning that third-party apps will also be getting the new smart reply feature, which actually is amazing, and it does work really well. So apps that of course allow you to send messages like WhatsApp or other mailing apps will now be able to implement this feature and be able to actually allow you to use smart replies within those apps. Now with iOS 18.4, you probably have seen the privacy indicator has been updated. It's now much better, and you can see here another change. So if I'm actually doing something here like recording a voice memo here, you can see that the privacy indicator will show right there, just like on the side of the dynamic island, which is of course way better than before. But also, did you see this? If I just zoom in here, it will just move to the side there. So there is still right there, as you probably can notice, the privacy indicator. It's much better now. You will have it all the time, anywhere on the status bar whenever something is using your camera or your microphone. Here's another great addition to the Photos app with iOS 18.4. You can now finally rearrange your utilities and also the media types. So on the Photos app on iOS 18, you will have a section for your utilities, and you will have also the same for your media type. You can finally tap the edit button right there, and you can actually rearrange these any way you like. So it's actually pretty easy to do. You will have this grabber that allows you to just place them anywhere you want. Now what's really cool is that not just rearranging them, you can also reset them to their default by using this button right there. So if you just move something and then you just want to basically bring everything back to their default, you can see we have the QR code here. We can tap the reset button and it will just replace them on their original place. Now, if you have been following the beta stages of iOS 18.4, you probably know about a cool new feature on the App Store where you can now pause and resume downloads. But did you know that you can actually also do that with updates? So here I have a few apps to update. If I just tap right here, you can see now I have a pause button where I can pause the update for that app, and of course tap again to resume anytime I want. So that's really useful. Like in the case maybe you're like updating an app and you're on your cellular data, you don't want to do that, you want to wait to actually do that while you're on Wi-Fi, you can now just go ahead and tap the button right there and pause and then update later. Now with iOS 18.4, Apple has added ambient music to the control center. You probably have heard about that. So if we go right here and then here we have ambient music, we can go ahead and add them to the control center and then of course start playing this music from here. But did you know that you can also tap there and you can change the playlist? You will have a few like different playlists right here, but what's really cool is that you will also be able to choose from your library. So you tap right there and you can go ahead and pick any playlist that you have on your Apple Music library and just add it right here to the control center. Now of course, once you have done that, you will be able to actually start playing that music directly from here. Now with iOS 18.4, Apple has added a ton of new shortcuts to the Shortcuts app, but here's one that I think is actually very useful. So head on to the Shortcuts app and then just tap the plus button. What you need to do here is just go ahead and search for conversation. and then you will find this action right here. It is called Open Conversation. Now all you have to do here is tap where it says Conversation with blue right there, and just pick any conversation that you have currently saved on the iMessage app, and then you will be able to actually use this shortcut to go directly to that conversation without having to go through the Messages app and search for it. You just choose it here. You have now a shortcut. You can even add it to your home screen. Just tap the little icon and it opens directly to that conversation. And iOS 18.4 will also allow you to change the view of your albums. So now when you go to your albums, you can tap the three dots right there, and you will have a new section right there for the list view and key photo. So whichever one you want to use, and set it right here. So this is how the key photo looks, and this is how it looks when you actually go to the list view, which is much nicer and much cleaner. Probably also very easy to find the album that you want. And iOS 18.4 will also add two new widgets for the podcast app. You have one for the library, and you will have one for the shows. Now, what's really cool is that these come on all three sizes, of course, but you can also choose what you want to display right here on the shows. So if we tap edit widget right there, select show, we can go ahead and select any from the shows that you have saved on the podcast app and display it right there. Whenever you want to play it, of course, you can just start playing directly from here. And this one is for the library. This will just show you the newest stuff that you have on your podcast library. And the control center has gotten much better with iOS 18.4. Maybe not anything like huge here, and not a lot of new things. We have these colors that will show up right here on the sliders when we turn up or down. We have, of course, the widgets here for the Wi-Fi and the cellular, showing the real strength, not just showing like always full. And of course, we have another change here, which is my favorite. The rearrangement of the controls here is now much better. They work as they should. They don't just move around without any control or things like that. It actually works as it should. And now you will find that it's actually much easier to actually configure the control center of your device. And last but not least, iOS 18.4 will bring Apple Intelligence to EU and many other countries. This is amazing. Of course, until now, only US had the Apple Intelligence features. Once you have your device updated to the new iOS 18.4, you will be able to actually have Apple Intelligence in almost every country now, which is really amazing. Now, as you might know, iOS 18.4 is currently on its 4th beta, and it's a beta that has a build number ending with an A, indicating that it is the last beta before the RC version, which will most likely be released this Monday or maybe even Tuesday, so the 24th or the 25th of March, expecting a release of iOS 18.4 to the public on April, most likely April 1st or 2nd will be the dates that Apple will release iOS 18.4 to the public. So that is it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and of course subscribe for more iOS 18.4 videos, and I'll see you on the next one.